All right. So, welcome to yet another Dragon Crypto Gaming video. Jika here with you. The Legend of Aurum Draconis is in its final beta testnet phase, and so it has undergone a bit of a wipe where all the progress that's been made in the previous beta has been taken off to start afresh with a whole lot of feature tweaks and stuff like that to simulate as much as possible the new features and how things would go when you start afresh from scratch. So, as you can see, we got a welcome screen now where we are being welcomed to Dragon Haven. So we're gonna go through some of these features. Really, I mean, most of them are very familiar to us, but for those who are watching this, in case just to get a primer on what the game is about and how the UI is and how everything works. So this is the character screen. Up there you can see the health in orange and the number of turns in blue. You can select your characters if you have multiple heroes right underneath in those circles. Right now we are at the stash, where you can view your equipment, resources, consumables. Basically everything that you loot in the plains from battle will end up in the stash, from where you can either claim them, so they go to your inventory, or you could break them down for resources. In the early game, I'd expect you to be taking them as equipment because they are hard to come by in the beginning. Unless you've got crafting kits, which is something we'll get to a little later. This is where all the action happens, the plains of Draconis. So, searching the plains would be taking up one turn, and most of the time you'd be getting into battle with one of the enemies. Maybe there is a chance you might come across a bit of a side quest sort of, where you can search for loot or come across woods, but mostly it's battles in the plains. The mines are where you can mine for resources, but you will need a pickaxe to access it, which is why getting a pickaxe early is really important. And again, the alpha is the best chance you got is having a crafting kit, because that's where the best chance is for you to get pickaxe straight away. The healer's hut is where you need to go to heal in case you run out of potions. For a fee in DCAU, you can get your character's health completely restored. The fee will increase depending on how much there is to restore. Wild Boar Inn is the bar or the pub, the safe haven of Dragon Haven, where you can go to rest and again for a fee to restore all your turns and all your health. Here we have the marketplace, where you can sell all the loot that you get from the plains in case you don't really need them, or they're all their own NFTs, by the way. Every single one of these items are all unique NFTs, so they can be sold in the marketplace. For example, if you get 2 pickaxes and you only need 1, that's something that can go for a lot of money early on in the game. So the marketplace is pretty nifty for that. The forge is where you can take the resources that you mine from the mines, like the iron ores, the titanium ores, and coal, and you can forge it into steel bars and titanium bars and so on and so forth, which will help in crafting. So you can craft the equipment, and you need certain resources, and the forge is where you go to turn your ores into actual resources that you can craft with. So here you see the stat points, where you can allocate your starting stat points. If you have a neophyte, which is the most common type of hero in terms of rank, you will start with 10. Apprentice starts with 15, Master starts with 20, Grandmaster goes for 25, and Legendary you will start with 30. So 10 points you assign in the beginning as you like, and that's how your experience would go in the game. You just saw the quests there. That's also something that we covered in the previous video, where you literally just slay some enemies and make some extra loot. So we're gonna start with our. I've got 5 heroes from been accumulating throughout the bear market. So the best hero I've got is a master. So with those 20 skill points, I can get a head start sort of with that extra skill points being used. And that's the hero that I'd like to use as my warrior. A little bit of attack, a little bit of endurance, a little bit of gathering, and a little bit of luck. Luck will help in getting good loot early on. There's a chance. It increases your chance of getting them. And this is the time where you're on the lookout for loot. So you'd want as much as possible coming in. But of course, attack, endurance, and defense are the biggest points where, you still get a weapon. So we will be using our fists. So we need as many attack points as base so that we can be, dealing damage as well as, be able to take damage. Let's go into the plains and let's get into our first battle with our Master Warrior. All decked out in terms of skill points, but dealing with just fists of fury at the moment. First up is the Spammer, the Evil. The level 1 enemies are all expected to be just 100 in HP, but because of those extra skill points to start off, and because we have 7 attack, we should be able to close this off. This button is the flee or the secondary attack. So basically, if you have 2 single arm wielding weapons, the axis sights, those are dual wielding weapons, so you won't be able to use another weapon with it. But maybe if you have a pistol and a pickaxe, that both of them can be used alternatively. Otherwise, that button is also used to flee. Basically, if you have more speed than your opponent, you get a chance of fleeing and being successful at it, because sometimes you might not be in a favorable battle. As expected, we got through the first enemy without much issue. Got 0.70 CAR. We used to get a lot more earlier in the beta, but then again, these are things that are being tweaked almost every other day to cater to all kinds of experiences when it comes to gaming. So I'm pretty sure by the time mainnet rolls around, we should be in much better stead for the play to earn mechanics and how profitable it can be. 0.003 DCAU for this one. Again, DCAU had all-time high of about 150, 170, and imagine if that would be the actual price, we would actually be making $0.3 to $0.4. And because of the very finite supply, you'd expect that to happen too. So again, these all will be tweaked. It's all going to be tweaked and pegged according to their USD value and remonitored. So, ooh, what happened there? Damn, I shouldn't have searched him. Got half of my health just literally obliterated because of that. Well, we move on. We have to move on. There's not much we can do about that. Another enemy. All done. So we got our first equipment loot in uncommon silk braces. Or uncommon cloth braces, pardon. So let's go ahead and claim it. Basically, you go to the stash and claim it because it's its own unique NFT, so it has to be claimed through a transaction. And let's get that in so that you can get as much bonus skill points as much as you can, especially in the defense department. So we'll go ahead and get some of those potions and bandages as well. So this is the new feature that's coming new in this beta. Tiny Dragons. This was the first NFT collection from Dragon Crypto Gaming. Can't state how awesome seeing Tiny Dragons being incorporated in the game is. It was always coming, but now that it's come, it just blends into the game real nicely. So this is the feature I'd like to focus on in the continuation of this video on the next one. We already had a good one. We looked at everything from fresh eyes, went through a bit of a primer on exactly how the world of Aurum Draconis works. So until then, geek out. Have a good one.